guys, welcome back to the channel. I just decided that I would hop on here and do a little vlog for this cozy Sunday that I had the other day. And I started out with just getting myself ready to go to church. We go to church every Sunday, or at least we try to. The only reason that we don't usually go is if we are out of town. And I just love putting myself together to go to church, and it makes me feel so good and sets my day off on such a good note. I know it probably looks like my foundation is a little too light for me, but I found that, oh my gosh, and I'm not going to take that out either. My boyfriend was in the back trying to get ready too. Anyways, where was I? Okay. So I know that my foundation looks super light, but I found that it helps it to not look so orange when I go over it with bronzer just where I want it. And you can see that I'm using all natural makeup. I just switched to this new brand called Toups & Co. Organics, and it's honestly so good. I also use Lily Lolo. They're pretty good. I use like their mascara, but the Toups & Co. brand is just so flawless, so smooth. It makes my skin look so perfect and airbrushed. So that's been what I've been loving lately. And then, I got to go in with my Grande Lash Serum. And what I was showing here is that I don't use the telescopic mascara. This is like an empty one from a long time ago that is just completely empty at this point. All that I am interested in is the wand. So I will go in with my normal mascara and then I'll brush them out with the telescopic, because that is the best wand that I have ever had, and I don't know why, but I love it and I'm obsessed with it, and so I will not get rid of it. All right, this is the fit for today, and now we can go to service. My righteousness and freedom. Today, the service was on the chapter Mark, the book of Mark, chapter 4. And we've been going through Mark over the last few weeks, and it's honestly so rich and so beautiful. It's been one of my favorites this year so far, for sure. And today, the story with Jesus multiplying the loaves and the fishes, and it was honestly such a deep lesson, and I'm so glad that we went because it helped me see it in a totally different way. Now I'm going grocery shopping. So my little plan for myself today was to spend the whole day baking and cooking. I've been really behind in this area lately, and I've been really itching to be making a new bread recipe that I found, and Tyler's been asking me for a bunch of treats, so I decided to get some stuff and make a beef stew because it's been really cold here in Iowa, and I figured, it was a perfect fall Sunday for some hot stew, and I'm gonna make some fresh baked bread to go with it. The avocados are not for today, those are just for my regular groceries, and I figured I'd pick some up while I was there. But the rest of the stuff that you see is all stuff that I was probably gonna be making adorable welcome mat. I thought it was so sweet, and I loved that it was harvest themed, but they did have some Halloween ones too. I'm trying to do the thing this year where I go in after when everything is on clearance and just get all of the clearance stuff. That's kind of been like my plan for this year. So that's what I'm waiting for everything to go on clearance, and then I'll go and do my shopping. You'll also notice that I put back the can of tomato paste, and that is because we have so many tomatoes left over from our garden that we're trying to get rid of. And as soon as I picked up the tomato paste, I was like, wait a second, why don't I just try to make my own? And that little bib was so cute. I thought it was so sweet. I can't wait. But we have our own baby here, so that being Case, our dog. He's the only baby that we need right now, so. The first thing that I did, I got to work making my tomato paste. It was actually a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Basically, you just have to boil the tomatoes, strain them, and then bake them. And they came out just fine, and I put them in our stew, and they added so much flavor. I was actually really surprised. So I might just go ahead and do that with the rest of our tomatoes. I'm also making a brown sugar because I've seen online that it's literally so easy to make. All you have to do is get molasses and stir it in with regular white sugar. And, you know, you can make it darker, you can make it lighter. I just made enough for the recipe, but it actually came out really good. And so I'll probably keep doing that because it is a lot cheaper long term. And then I went ahead and started my banana bread. I originally planned on baking muffins too, but as you can see, like, I kind of ran out of time and space, and I figured, you know, we don't need that many pastries all at once because I know that they would be gone in a day. So I was like, why don't I just make the bread, and then later this week I'll make some muffins too if it doesn't last. But I'll definitely be making those over the weekend, if not this week. And now we can go back to the stew. So first step, I just browned these stew meat bits. They just had these in the grocery store already, like, cut and prepared. All I had to do was put them in the pan. And I've been trying to stick to stainless steel, which I was really nervous about, but they didn't stick at all, so that was good. Then I'm just chopping up all of the veggies to put in the stew. I always like double the vegetables for whatever recipe that it calls for. I wasn't following any specific recipe, but I do tend to put in more vegetables than it calls for just because I feel like it doesn't hurt and it makes the soup or stew so much better. Once the vegetables were all fragrant and soft, I finally just stirred in the rest of the meat and the tomato paste from the oven and let all of that, you know, cook together. And then I added the broth and some seasonings, and I basically just let that sit and stew all together before I added the potatoes. Okay, so I've so far made my bread that's over here rising. I've made the banana bread that is in the oven, it's almost done. And I've made my tomato paste and added it to mine. So while that's all cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on my ranch. My boyfriend this morning was saying that he wanted to make his own homemade ranch, so I figured I would just make it for him. So that's what we're gonna do now. In order to make the ranch, we need buttermilk. So I'm first going to make butter because, as you know, when you make butter, it has the byproduct of homemade buttermilk. So I'm gonna be using that in our ranch and just kill two birds with one stone. is this banana bread. Look, oh my gosh, it's already half gone in one day. And I always leave it out to cool before I put it in our pastry dome, just so that it doesn't ruin the dough. Okay, so I got everything cooked that I want to get cooked, and now I just needed to come out and thin out my garden because I know that there's a lot of tomatoes left in here, and this is going to be one of the last weekends before we probably cut it all down, maybe next weekend. So I'm going to try and see how much I can get out of it before we close for the season, and Case is here helping me with that. This is the harvest that we got today. A lot of tomatoes, the pepper, not very much to be honest. I'm very grateful and thankful for all of the wonderful and delicious food that we've gotten this season. I was expecting more, but we have a lot of green ones, so we'll probably be getting those soon. I just really got to stay on top of it over the next week or so, just getting all of the ones before they split and fall off. Finally, we get to finish off the day with some fresh baked bread. This was one of the easiest parts, and I finally got it to work. I've been struggling lately, but I finally did it. I'm late to the bread trend, I know, but it was so delicious with our stew, and it made the house smell so good, so highly recommend. I even dipped some in my little homemade ranch that I made, so that was really fun. And this is my beautiful homemade ranch that came out so delicious and so yummy and so much better than store-bought. And my stew that I ended up spilling everywhere in that video and had to clean up later, but there you have it. Cozy day at the Ellingson household. Thanks for watching.